Hello and welcome to our favorite Bantees. We've got a great episode of Basics and Banter for you. I'm one of your hosts, Sam Fisher, here with my bestie.
Halo. Sam, I'm really excited about this episode today. We have our HPP national identifier coming up, which is also it's always so exciting for us to just be able to be in Vero Beach and hang out with all of the athletes that get invited and to have them have the opportunity to see what it's like to be a Team USA player and go through that process of being selected to different national teams. It's really cool. And I know that I think we're both really excited to be able to chat with the guests that we have coming on today.
I know. And she's just such a good example of what happens when you put yourself out there in this program. You know, if you're out there listening and you're curious, how do I get to this national event at the end of the year where there's about 300 to 400 players? Look at your local regional identifiers. The list for 2025 is already starting to come out. You can check it out on USA Softball's website and you can see what's close to you. Go out there, have a cute little tryout, and then get selected based on that, because then from the national qualifier, you can be picked to be on a USA national team.
Yeah, you could be on the U16 team, you could be on the U18 team, U15. There are events happening all over the place, which I think just shows the growth of softball, not only just in the United States, but around the world. And I mean, my first experience was on the junior national team in 2013, and I ended up playing 10 years on the national team. So it all starts by how cool of an opportunity. It all starts with you going to your local identifier. That's step one. And then if you don't make it, it's okay, I see what I need to work on and I'll keep going and keep getting better. But it's so good for young athletes just to have that evaluation process to see where they're at and then continue to grow those dreams of playing for Team USA.
Oh, dope. Man. Dope is right, Haley McClenny. Dope is right. And I mean, for you and I, the added bonus of getting to see each other in Florida. Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, I mean, all around, really looking forward to it. We'll be out there December 12th. And gosh, that's coming up quick. So
it is.
For those of you listening that are going to be there or that want to be there, we will be there. So if nothing else motivates you, hanging out with us should.
Come see us.
Yeah. It's great.
Period.
So please enjoy this guest. I know we had such a good time. We laughed, we cried, we celebrated, we cheered, and we talked, we bantered.
It's one of our best interviews to date. And I truly mean that.
Halo does not say anything like that lightly, you guys. So you know it's going to be good. So please enjoy, have fun, and we'll catch you next time.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. Our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.
All right, you guys, our Bantees. We have a very special guest with us today. I can't wait to introduce her. Ella McDowell, you want to say hey?
Hi, hello.
Before we get started, I want to just run through Ella's accomplishments thus far in her life. From Richmond, Texas, you attended the 2023 Houston HPP identifier, which led you to be invited to the national selection event in Vero Beach, where all three of us were there at the same time. Very fun.
So fun.
You were a top performer and then selected to the U18 women's national team to then go and compete in Dallas in the 2024 WBSC U18 World Cup group stage event, where you helped the team punch your ticket to the 2025 World Cup finals. No big deal. This is where it gets interesting. Hit 667, 10 hits in your 15 at-bats with 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 8 RBI, and 8 runs scored. So, I don't know, kind of a low-key tournament. You were the group's most outstanding player. And now you're a freshman at the University of Arkansas. I mean, Ella, that's a career's worth of stuff. How do you feel when you hear that about yourself laid out like that?
Honestly, it's just kind of surprising. I didn't know I had it in me to do all that stuff and go 10 for 15, but I mean, I just kind of wake up every day and I just think about how blessed I am that I get to do things that I love. So it's really just a blessing. And, sometimes I even surprise myself with how many little base hits I get. So it's just cool. I like it. It's cool.
That's so awesome.
Amazing. Well, I mean, you get a lot of base hits, so I feel like you should be used to it at this point. What I always love asking our younger athletes this, because I think Sam and I shared this experience of like putting on a USA jersey for the first time. Like, what was that like for you? Was playing USA softball something you always dreamed of, or was it just like hey, this is a cool opportunity, let's just kind of see if I can run with it?
Yeah, it was definitely like the biggest dream I've had since I was little. And I have something I want to show you, Haley. I don't know how you're going to feel about it.
Oh my God.
I've been waiting to pull this up for a while. I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Ella.
Yeah.
I'm like screaming and crying.
What
year was that?
2016. I was
2016.
I think I was 10 or 9.
Ella. I am mind blown and I'm about to start sobbing.
Yeah, so it has always been a dream. I used to be the back girl for Team USA games when y'all come to Houston. It's such a dream, and it's such like a surreal opportunity that I got to play with the U18 team. So I was like, it was such a out of body experience, honestly.
Well, I think that concludes our interview. I mean,
yeah, okay, that's it.
Okay, great.
And then we got to train together too in Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
the team was named. So like, what? Wow, what a full circle moment. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, I remember whenever we had training camp in June, you like threw a ball to me for relays, and I was just like, like I'm here,
That's crazy. It was probably 20 miles an hour because June we're just coming off season.
It was from the fence, so it was good. It was
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know. Amazing. I know. How do we go from there?
I can't breathe.
One of the questions I was going to ask was like, what led you to the decision to go to the HPP event? But it kind of seems like it wasn't an extremely obvious thing to go to. So talk a little bit about your experience going to that, knowing that this was always a dream, and having gone and been the back girl and having a picture with Halo from 2016. Like, take us through that.
I mean, obviously, like going to the HPP event, I didn't feel like any sort of pressure because, this is my dream and this is what I've always wanted to do. And if it's going to work out, then it's going to work out. And I just have so much confidence in what I've built within myself. And, I freaking Team USA, like I'm going to give it my all regardless. And I just want to do everything I can. And like when I was named top performer at the selection event and even getting invited to the selection event, like I was just like I'm one step closer. And even whenever playing with the U18 team and, punching the ticket and being named like the most outstanding player, it's just one step closer to like my ultimate dream of, being like Haley and playing for the Olympics. So it's just like, I feel like I have a chip on my on my shoulder, and, she's such a role model to me. So I just
Same,
bro. Like, I can't. Okay, it's really cool to hear you say that though, because not a lot of athletes that are in your position, I think it's important for everyone that's going to listen to this interview, is like it seems like you're so focused on getting better every day and just like taking one step at a time. Whereas I think a lot of kids your age will just be like, well, I want to be an All-American, but they don't quite understand like that step-by-step mentality that you kind of have to get there. But you found so much success doing that. Like, where did you learn that? Is that innate in you? Is that something your parents or coaches instilled in you? Is that natural for you? It wasn't natural for me, so I'm asking if it's like natural for you.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think a part of it is natural, like just trying to take it one step at a time. Like I'm a very process oriented person, so I know that if I want to get better at this, then I got to focus on this first. So just putting one foot in front of the other and just being where my feet are. And then honestly, I learned it a lot with playing with Team USA, like, cause at the training event where, I'm taking ground ball reps with Bailey Klingler and Jessie Warren, I'm like, shoot, like I got I gotta take it easy, like I want to be great like them. So I just got to keep working at what I'm good at now. And eventually, I pray and I hope that my skill will get there. And then just, I don't know, like at the Group C stage event, at the beginning of the week, I had a horrible week. Like we had scrimmages and we had just little team meetings, and I didn't perform. You can ask Coach Kyla Hollis. Like I was not in the starting lineup. Like I was really bad. But just remembering that, like, my worth isn't really in my performance. It's in just how can I grow every single day, and not being so focused on outcome, but the journey it is to get there. That's what's really important. So I definitely have had to learn that. And USA Soccer has been a huge part of that. So.
Whew. Our pro players could use this advice, Sam. Honestly.
That's what I honestly, Halo, is going to be like, when you're young and people tell you that you're young, you're like, I'm not young. You don't think you're young until you look back and you're like, man, I was young. And you, Ella, have a very mature, like talking about confidence at your age, especially even before entering into college, talking about confidence and talking about what you said. You're like, I have a lot of confidence in my craft and what I'm doing and my goals and my process. Like people struggle with confidence. Some people retire still not being a confident player.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us how you got to that point? Do you feel like the confidence is related to the process, or is it your support system? Where do you get that confidence from, and to be able to talk about it that way?
Yeah, so I think also it goes two ways, just confidence in myself. I mean, I love to work hard. I think that just plays a big part in it. And I know that I've put in the time, I've put in the amount of reps to be where I'm at. So why not have the most like love for myself and just the most utmost respect. And I think another big thing would just be my support system. My mom, my dad, my brother and sister, they play a huge part in always supporting me and making so many sacrifices. And especially my girlfriend, her name is Zoe. She is just, she always just makes me feel good about myself. And, she's kind of like a coach. Like she keeps me in check. She keeps me in line. But, I don't know what I would do without her. And I think having her and having the rest of my family, they really just push me to be the best version of myself. So
that's so nice.
That's so nice. That's so nice and so sweet. What was growing up like? You have siblings?
Yeah, I have an older sister named Maya. She is a senior at Texas A&M, and then I have a younger brother. We call him Bubba. His name's Sean. He's a junior in high school right now.
It's competitive between you guys?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I was a middle child, so I was always fighting for attention, just trying to put myself out there. But it was super competitive, and my parents really pushed us to, if we're going to do something, might as well just be the best at it, because why not,
Yeah. It seems like it's worked out for you so far in your career. And I can't wait to see what you do this season playing in the SEC. And I want to talk a little bit, like, I think it's a really rare opportunity that we get to interview someone your age that is like fresh off the recruiting process. Do you mind sharing any and everything about your recruiting journey and why you picked Arkansas?
Yeah, so definitely with the recruiting process, I think I was very blessed. There was a lot of schools that reached out and, just wanted me to just be a part of what's going on. So I was really blessed in that aspect. But I think also the head of my travel ball organization, Jazz Jackson Besley, she did a great job with putting my name out there and leading me in the right direction with camps and, just getting coaches to watch me when I play. But yeah, it was a great process, but it's also very stressful, with the biggest fact that I had a really hard time with comparing myself to other people. I would see, girls that I know go on visits here and girls that I know go on visits there. So it was just hard for me to well, why didn't I get that call, or why didn't I go this place? But when I took 4 visits out of my 5 at the time, and Arkansas was my first, and I just got this homey cliche feeling. And Coach Deifel, she made me feel right at home. And now that I'm here at Arkansas, I mean, shoot, I'd do anything for that woman. She is just the light at the end of the tunnel, really. So it was a very stressful process, but I just hope that for anyone who's going through it right now, just know that, your time will come, and you don't need to try to be anything that you're not, that any school is going to love you for exactly who you are.
Oh, that's such good advice. Because it's true. There's so many programs in the States that there's a home for everybody. Like you said, like if you look around and look at everybody else and what they're going through, like their journey is their own. So their answer might be completely different than your answer, than my answer, than Halo's answer. Like that, I think that's a really, really good perspective. And it's cool to see how you took the time to make sure that you, even if there's cliches are a cliche for a reason, like it's got to feel warm and fuzzy and homey. And that is 4 years of your life. That is, that's sometimes 5. Like that is where you're going to live some pretty formative years. It's important to be where you should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, what has surprised you the most? Is there anything that you're like, getting ready to move in and move to Arkansas and get to school, you have these expectations. What has surprised you the most that you weren't maybe expecting?
Honestly, it was never really like, well, there's a couple things. Like one personal thing is, I have made my bed every single day while being here. That is just come at me. I'm doing a pretty good job with that. So, but
that's
I think,
outstanding.
Yeah, but on another serious note, I think the biggest thing that I've experienced that I didn't know I would need is just like the mental health aspect and dealing with failure. Because through travel ball and in the summers, I feel like I didn't really struggle that much. Everything kind of came natural to me, especially at a young age and, playing 18U and everything. So I got here and I would fail. There would be some days where I just was not good. And at the beginning when I got here, I was like, what do I do? But Arkansas especially has just so many great resources. I've started going to therapy. I've started just letting my emotions, expressing them and just letting them out, because we shouldn't have to just feel like we just keep everything in. So just being expressive with how I am and just talking about it, it's made dealing with failure so much easier.
Wow.
But yeah, I feel like all the time. And so it's I'm like, wow, it's crazy. But yeah.
Man, I hate to tell you, that's the sport you picked. It is what you're saying right now is something that so many athletes, I think, struggle with across the board, no matter what level you're at. If you're making the jump from middle school ball to high school ball, especially if you're making the jump from high school ball to college ball and then college to the pros, it's a completely different game within a game. And failure is obviously it's just part of it. I love that you have all of those resources to be able to. I think that showed you how much the game has grown. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but we had some resources, but definitely not the way that it is today. So for you to be able to have those conversations and step into your process at this age, I'm so excited to see you in the spring after going through the struggles in the fall. Fall is terrible. Regardless.
It is horrible. Wow.
It's
so
freaking, it is hard. Don't shy away from that. It's freaking hard. What, in terms of making that jump though, and I know you've experienced failure, which everybody does at some point, but what was the biggest thing maybe in practice that stood out to you of a difference between a high school practice and a college practice, or even a high level travel ball practice and a college practice?
Honestly, just here at Arkansas, it would probably just be just the support. At a high school practice, I didn't I kind of felt like I was just on my own and very hard on myself. And, I felt like I couldn't be kind to myself. There was a lot of negative self-talk, but being at Arkansas, there's such a great group of infielders here. And so just the amount of hey, I got your back. We're good. Let's just get the next one. Don't worry about it. It's just so uplifting. And I'm like, oh shoot. I feel better, and a ball just might have went through my legs. So that is definitely the biggest difference. And I even experienced that when I was practicing with the, I don't know, the Team USA, the older girls. I'm not sure what the official name is, but someone would just completely miss a ball, and everyone's like, we're good. Let's just keep going. We're good. It's gonna be okay. And I'm like, maybe it is going to be okay. Maybe, the world might not end if I make an error,
Next pitch. There's always going to be another pitch.
Yeah.
That's always been my favorite thing at practice. Halo knows this. Anytime anybody misses a ball, I will yell on the field, foul ball. It was foul. Like even a ball directly to center field and it's not a foul ball. If we miss it, it's a foul ball. Like that doesn't even count. We'll get another one. It's no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
That's
cool to
fun.
think about that because there's so much that's part of the game and errors, they're part of the game. It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know who made that up, but it's so dumb.
No one's ever had a 1,000 career fielding percentage
No.
for the course of their entire life. No
No.
one.
No. Golly. Wouldn't that be nice? Could you imagine? Could you
Wouldn't it?
imagine walking around with a career 1,000 fielding percentage? You're like, I'm untouchable.
Literally.
What would that be like?
God doesn't make perfect people, but he made an exception for me. 1,000, baby. That would be so
Oh my
nice.
gosh. Oh man. I would love, Ella, if you could talk about like if you have any advice for people that are maybe about to go through the national selection event with the HPP, because it's coming up here in a month. We're back in Florida. What did you learn from it, or what do you maybe wish that you knew before getting there?
Honestly, just the biggest thing that I wish I knew before I went there is just, play for something bigger than yourself, because I think that whenever, you're going through the tryout and you're doing the trials and everything, and thankfully I was picked, but if I wasn't, then I would probably think to myself, like, these amazing group of girls, they were chosen to represent like Team USA. So if they pick the best group of girls, and I can't even be mad at that because, we play for such an amazing organization and Team USA is, the best of the best. So I can only just congratulate everyone and just pray you get it next time. But just be satisfied with who you are. And I don't know, just have fun. I think that's the biggest thing. I had so much fun last year. So yeah.
It is a
We had
really, really special event. I know it's fun. It's fun for you guys. It's fun for us too, as instructors and evaluators, to just kind of see the little team cultures that get created and the friendships that form. I think it's something that can stick with you for a really long time. And then obviously being picked to that team is, like you said, it's a dream come true. And I know playing for Arkansas is probably, or playing college softball in general is probably a dream for you too. I want to follow up on Sam's question. If you could give advice to anyone that is a senior in high school now playing college softball next year, freshman fall, what advice would you give?
I would just say, just freaking do it. I mean, you have no option. Just, go to work, put your head down, embrace the hard, commit to the hard, and be innovative, challenge the current, because why not you?
I love this.
Oh my god! Should we unretire?
This is amazing. I know. I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now. Like, I need at least 45 minutes to warm up, but I'm considering it.
Oh my gosh! Before we started this call, I was told that we should ask you about the home runs that you hit at the event in Dallas, because listen. Talking about a home run is like top tier conversation. So tell us about them.
All right. Well, it's a great thing for y'all. I actually remember every single home run I've ever hit, and especially these two, because, like,
outstanding.
Wearing the jersey for the first time, you get put on for the city.
Absolutely.
So my first home run, it was against Australia. And I didn't play that game. Like, I wasn't starting. I was pinch running. And so they put me in, and I'm like, all right, like, here we go. And I remember it was like, first pitch ball sucks. All right, I'm ready. Second pitch, I'm gonna say second pitch was like, caught the outside corner. Whatever, don't care. Throw me another one. She threw the same pitch again, and I didn't swing. And I was like, no.
Tough.
Strike two already. It was 1-2, and I could just feel Coach Kyla just like looking at me and was like, are you freaking kidding me? And I was like, dang, like, that sucks. Fourth pitch, fouled it off, threw another ball. And then I was like, if she leaves it high, like, I'm going to swing. Poor Ozzy, left it high. I had to hit it super far. I just turned and burned, and honestly, I didn't use a single ounce of my legs. I just completely just whipped the bat there. It went over the left field fence. I was tooting around the bases. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. And none of my family was there. And like nobody important was there. Like, I was like, no, but like, yay. But I remember it was just like crazy. I didn't feel real. And I wanted to celebrate so bad. Like I thought about it before I went to go hit. I was like, if I get a double, like, this is how I'm going to celebrate. And if I hit a home run, like, this is how I'll celebrate. Just completely went out the window. So, yeah.
I love that visualization, though. Like, can we talk about that? Like, you're going up, like, this, you're not in the starting lineup, right? Like, you're getting an opportunity, and you're going up to the plate thinking about how you're going to celebrate after you have success.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's, like, the best part of softball, so.
There's something to that.
100%.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
100%.
And then I'd say my second home run, we're playing Mexico. It's super like noisy and like got a lot of noisemakers, and the Mexico fans, they're very into it. So it was like, very, very, I don't know the word, like I had a high heartbeat,
Yeah.
And I remember before the game, I was texting my girlfriend, and I was like, like, if I hit a home run, like, you like give me a kiss on the cheek or something. And she was like, yeah, like, I'll do it. And I remember I was like, I'm sitting changeup. And it was the first at bat, first inning too, and I didn't care. I was like, I'm just gonna sit changeup. Do a changeup. I don't know. I did it so far, I didn't even know how I did that. And I hit it to my dad in the outfield. So it was actually I hit it straight at him. And I sprinted around the bases, and I was so mad at myself because I told myself, I was like, be cool, act like you've been here, but I was so excited, man. And I just hit a bomb over left, and I think we scored like 4 runs that inning. So I was just really excited because, I love my team and I wanted us to do the best that we could. So I felt like I put our pitchers in a great spot to be comfortable and to throw good for the rest of the game, especially with a huge first inning advantage. So I was just really happy, and I just was like, yeah, like Zoe's gonna be so like proud of me after this. Like,
oh,
yeah,
that's so cute. Dang, yeah, sounds like a couple of bombs. I know we have footage of it, so I can't wait to see that.
I can't wait.
The announcer was just like, Ella McDowell. I'm like,
oh, that's so great. You know what's so like listening to this story is so crazy because my first home run for USA was my first hit, and I did not start that game. I was put in the 5th inning, and you hit it, and you're like, no,
you're like, wait,
hold on, am I still in my visualization, or do I now have to run around the bases?
Yeah,
there's something. I mean, Halo, do you remember your first? Halo's got her memory.
My memory is not as good as your guys's. I've run into a few too many outfield walls to have a good memory. When it comes to, I don't remember my first home run. I remember running around the bases a lot though. I didn't really hit the ball over the fence. The 220 thing really got me.
It is a little far.
I'm a little guy. I do remember a one that I hit off Dallas Escobedo in I think we were in Columbus, Georgia for like a World Cup or something.
Oh yeah.
And I remember Dallas had like still has the nastiest curveball, one of I've ever seen. And thank God she made a mistake and left it over the middle of the plate, and I hit it over the fence, and I was like, oh my God, I think I can hit for power.
Look out, world.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice.
That is fun.
I admire your guys' softball memory. I can't.
I try to remember things for Halo, so I like keep a Halo folder in here.
Yeah, and she does. She remembers a good bit for me, actually.
I remember something actually very specific of you, Haley.
This is so great.
I think you're gonna think I'm a nerd, but
good.
I love softball and I watch games all the time. And the first ever game I ever watched was the 2013 Tennessee Alabama Super Regional in Knoxville.
Yeah.
It was game 2. Raven Trevon, who is like my favorite player of all time, she hit a base hit up the middle, and you were like, I had no idea who you were. I was 7, 6. And
Halo, that was your freshman year, right?
That was my freshman year, yeah. We lost at Super Regional.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I love Raven too, so.
I remember you got, like, you scooped the ball, threw it into home, just completely nailed the girl at home. And I was like, dang, like, she's so cool. Yeah.
She is so cool.
I remember that.
I appreciate that.
I remember, like, the call, too, like, of what Beth Mowens was saying.
Oh, my gosh.
You remember more than I do from that Super Regional. That's bizarre, but so cool. I love that you're a softball nerd. Like, I love that.
I've been a fan for a really long time, so.
Man, and you're just out here living your dream in Fayetteville, Arkansas, playing for Team USA.
And we're watching you. The roles have reversed.
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy, so.
Well, I know Halo and I are going to go think about this the rest of the day. Like, oh my gosh. So great. We really
I got better for interviewing you, Ella.
100%. 100%. So we're really grateful that you came on and shared your story with us and answered all of our questions. And I mean, is there anything, Halo, I know you like to ask, I mean, we've already asked for advice. Like, is there a final question that you want to hit her with, or do we feel like we already nailed it?
I mean, Ella, if you could just say one thing to your younger self, what would it be?
Without a doubt, it would definitely be Ella, because I've said that to myself for like years on years on years, and it finally, being 18 and finally feeling like I love who I am. It took me a long time to feel this way and to, like, love what I see in the mirror. And it wasn't always like that, especially growing up. I was kind of ugly. So I had to grow into it a little bit, but I think be Ella is definitely something I would tell her, because being Ella is enough, and I don't need to be anything else other than myself, because God wanted me to be this way, and I should let my light shine on other people. So be Ella.
I want to be Ella.
Yeah, be Ella.
Well, you can be Sam, and you can be Haley, and it's great.
The pipeline to the women's national team.
HPP has helped me find a new identity in like who I am as a player. It's helped show how hard work pays off, and it's really got me excited for the future of our game, the future for me, the future for my fellow athletes, and for what I strive to do in the future in college, and then potentially with USA Softball in the future.
What a way to finish, Ella. We cannot wait to watch you compete in the spring. Just represent USA.
Whoop it, baby.
Yes,
represent USA, represent yourself, your family, and the University of Arkansas. We're super excited. So thank you for taking the time and for bantering with us today.
Yes, of course. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is definitely a dream come true. So
thanks, Ella. You're the best. At this time, we would like to thank the USA Softball Store at usasoftballstore.com for our amazing gear this week. You guys can have the exact same gear that Samu and I have literally right now if you go to usasoftballstore.com. So go literally right now, and you can use code BHB15 right now and get 15% off your entire purchase. So buy a lot of stuff, get that 15%, let it all go to use. usasoftballstore.com. Again, that code is BHB15.